Hey, what's going on, guys? Continuation on the same day as part 2, but part 3 of replacing the water pump on the Taurus show. We've got everything apart. Pretty much get ready to put everything back together. You still got a few things we got to clean up and whatnot, but getting pretty close again, and I'll put back together. Still doing a little bit of research and whatnot, but let's get back at it.
All right, we cleaned up the area around the water pump. We marked the bolt holes in the torque sequence. So these are 89 inch-pounds and then a quarter, or actually 45 degree. So
After you get them to 89 inch-pounds, then you turn them up 45 degrees.
yeah. So we'll line up the pins. There's locating pins. There we go.
And then get the bolt started in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully the thread all right. We didn't booger up any threads.
No, I think everything's fine.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so I bought a new torque wrench, and it wasn't a very good one. So we snapped this bolt off, and I think we got lucky.
You think you still get your fingers on that enough?
I've got it. It's coming out. Watch out.
Yeah, the torque wrench said it could go 5 to 80 foot-pounds.
So we had it set to 7.5.
And it was not going at all.
Not going to work for us, so we're going to have to do something different.
Might have to just go by feel.
Yeah. But might not know what we're doing, but we got lucky. Pulled it out with my fingers.
Hopefully we can go to the store and get
we can get hardware. This is just metric hardware. We'll go get some more hardware and figure out another plan. Maybe we can get a different torque wrench. Okay, torquing the water pump, take 2. We got a different torque wrench.
Got an actual inch-pounds torque wrench. We're not playing the numbers game. We ended up finding a different bolt that fits that we happen to have, so we'd have to go run to the parts store or anything to find one, luckily enough.
So we go 89 inch-pounds and then 45 degrees.
I think we got 3 or 4 of them to click so far, and then get back to you after we get them all tight.
Okay, so we're gonna do a trial fit on the cam gears, and I'm gonna put the tensioner in, so I have to pull it all apart again to get them to fit. There is a left and a right hand gear. This particular engine, and it's hard to see, has keys internally.
You can see on the back side there where they would sit.
Yeah, so there's no wrong way to get it in. Well, if there is, I'll find it.
Yep. We're just gonna set that in there and then push them on. You want to slide the bolts in there so it doesn't wiggle?
Just a second. We had this before. Okay. Give me the screws. These 2?
Yep. Right up there. And we don't pull that pin on that tensioner
Not
until the
we're
very
ready.
last.
Right, not till we know we're done. Because I don't want to try to put it back in.
Pin right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be our luck, having to try to put it back in there.
It wouldn't be the first time I take it apart again, so.
All right.
Okay, we got the cam phasers on. We didn't pull the pins yet. We're gonna wait till we know we got the main chain on. And we got the guides, the inner guides on. I think we're gonna put the outer guides on and then get the chain around this thing. And we still have to torque down the cam phasers. Okay, best we can understand, it's 30 foot-pounds, back it off 1 full turn, 17 foot-pounds, and then 180 degrees. So we'll see how that goes.
Very specific. Yeah, pretty tight the other wrench. There we go.
Okay, get a different wrench, back it off one turn.
All right, you're backing them off one full turn now.
Okay, then we're going to foot-pounds. So the 30 foot-pounds is to seat it. Now we're going to 17.
So I got the torque wrench set to 17.
Okay.
Almost could have ran it back with your fingers. You probably didn't need to.
Yeah, I'm not sure the full turn. I think that's just to make sure it's loose. Yeah, that's not near as tight now.
Okay.
Then we'll get in there with a marker and mark them to get our exact 180. That's gonna be pretty tight.
Yeah.
Because they were really tight taking them off.
I don't think we should have went as far as they said. There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna clean this up and mark it, and then we'll get it 180.
So after getting them all to 17, we had to go another 180 degrees on the bolts, but they are super tight already, and we're not even close to being 180 degrees. I don't know if you can see.
I gotta mark one more if you let me in there.
Yeah, you can see our marks there. It's already super tight, so might have to put a cheater on there or something. But after breaking one bolt today, I'm just kind of nervous about breaking another. So I'm sure we'll figure out something.
Well, we're working on getting the timing chain around the water pump, lining up the marks. So we got a mark here and here. We're lining up.
And then
there's
one down below.
There is a double mark. I'm gonna double check. That goes across the dot on the crank. We haven't moved the crank, so we're good. Where'd the other mark go on this side?
I don't know. I didn't
Okay,
see that one.
there's a gold. It's right here.
Oh, yep.
I'm not sure what it's lining up with.
I have to double check that.
Sure be nice to have a book.
That's what YouTube is for.
Okay, so we got the guides in. Chain appears to be timed. We're just giving things another look over. We pulled the pins on the tensioners. We got a lot of cleanup to do. And before I take the cam tool out, we still have to torque a little bit
Yeah, see if we can get any more
on the
rotation.
exhaust cam. We're really struggling with getting enough rotation on the exhaust cams. They're really tight.
Yeah, I don't know how they were pretty tight coming off too. They were
So yeah,
a struggle.
we'll just keep with it, and then we'll take the cam timing tools off and probably spin it around a few times and see that it still lines up. Oh, it's looking pretty good. A lot of dirt to clean out, and it looks like the timing cover is going to be a bear to install. So we might be ending it a little bit after this.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. Okay, we've got everything torqued. We got the cam adjusters torqued down, and we're ready to do a final cleanup. Everything looks good. Don't have any slack where we, I don't know.
All right.
Got the cam?
Yeah, I got the cam phasers on. Chain is tight all the way around.
Yeah, we spun the engine around multiple times and double checked our timing marks when we were done. Everything looks good. And we're ready, let's see, everything's torqued. We're ready to put the front cover on, and that is gonna be a different day.
That's a project in itself.
Yeah, that is gonna be eventful. So you can see the cover. We labeled all the bolt holes, and there's a sequence and a torquing sequence of how we do this. So, and I got to get something to drive a new seal in. Bought a new seal for this. And the other thing, we're going to put a balancer sleeve on. So there's a groove. Want to take care of that, so we got a ready sleeve we're going to drive on. Came with a tool. Take care of that so we don't have an oil leak. Well, that's going to be it for tonight, and probably it for this video, right?
Yeah, call it a night. Started at 8 o'clock this morning. It's just after 6 now, so
yeah, we're not very efficient.
Been at it all day. So
all right, how we doing? So today we're going to we got the balancer and we got a little groove here. So we've got a ready sleeve. We're going to go ahead and install that. This just goes on, pushes down. So instructions say to use a little bit of non-hardening sealer. So we're going to use a little bit of gasket cinch, and then we're going to press it in, see what happens.
it should just slide right down there.
Well, it's going to be pressed on. So this is the tool for that, and we'll just stick it in the press. And
there it goes.
nice.
And that top piece will just slip right off that.
Yeah.
I've never used one of these before.
I've never had an installation tool with one, so that's kind of nice. Just work it down until it bottoms out. That's it.
There we go.
All right, so I'll wipe the excess off. Problem solved, the groove is gone.
All right, now time to work on the actual cover.
Yeah, so we got to knock that seal out. So I've got a seal driver kit, and we'll push the old one out and press the new one in.
All right, ready to push out this seal. Hopefully this pushes out no issue. I need to hold it up a little bit more. Kind of down at an angle.
Let's see what we get.
Yeah, it's doing something there. And there it goes.
Nice.
Rolling.
Okay, so because the seal sticks up the lip, I found I don't know, some PVC adapter that'll fit over this. So we can push it in flush, and then I'll use this driver. Should probably just use a press.
Yeah, I'd imagine just pressing it in like that.
Yeah, we'll tap with the hammer first. Try to get it start square.
In close.
You kidding? That's all we got.
Oh.
That's it, man.
We gotta go on.
Oh, it's It's more 2x4s.
Try this again.
I'm not happy with it. It's a little crooked.
I think it'll even itself out.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's really.
Yeah,
I want to go down there straight.
they're always fun.
And then it pops up really easily. Yeah, it's that one. Well, pop this and way up. Oh, there we go. It's not when you go in there straight.
Well, that was more unnecessarily difficult than it needed to be.
So we didn't use our fancy press like we thought we were going to. Yeah, we used a cheap piece of PVC and a rubber mallet, and it's pretty flush all around. We're pretty much got it. Yeah, it's not too bad.
That'll work. I'll work on it a little bit more, but pretty much got it. We got to get this cover cleaned up, get the engine clean, and get this cover on. Okay, we're finally ready to put the cover on. We're going to use the Motorcraft RTV sealant. So cut the end off.
Yeah, it's a hard plastic and can't just puncture it.
Cut the end off, put the tube on, use caulk gun, and we're going to run a bead around this. Well, it's not too exciting to watch this. We'll get back to you when we're ready to put it on. All right, real quick, we got her all sealed up. Ricky's gonna get in the bottom. I'm gonna drop it in the top.
We got a couple bolts here. I'm gonna get in there.
Get them started, yeah.
Started, and he's gonna get them started up top, and then we'll.
And there's 2 alignment pins, so we should be able to drop it right on.
And then we'll get them all kind of snug, and then torque them down.
Yeah, so the trick is to not rub it on everything on the way down, so it's gonna be tough. All right, let's get at it. Well, I have to say that went easier than we thought. The trick was we zip tied the air conditioning and some wires and all that back. So now we're just snugging up the bolts, getting them all started.
All right, we got all the bolts in place and pretty semi-snug. So now we are ready to torque them all down to 89 inch-pounds, and then what did you say we had to do after that one?
I think it goes to 18 foot-pounds after that. So 7.5 foot-pounds on the first pass on the small bolts, and then it's still inch-pounds again, 133 inch-pounds.
Okay.
And the motor mount bolts are 18 foot-pounds and 55 foot-pounds.
Yep, right there. All right, let's get tightening.
Okay, so we got the first run around at 18 foot-pounds. Now we're going to, 89 inch-pounds. Now we're going to 18 foot-pounds, which is, what, 216 inch-pounds?
Yeah.
So we're doing the outer bolts, and then we're going to do the 3 motor mount bolts last. And those are done in 2 stages as well.
Okay, we didn't show a lot of this because we're trying to rush so we can make the parts so we're in time. But we did get the motor mount put in. We're just finishing snugging it up.
So the trick on the motor mount is actually put it in from the bottom with the lower bolt. There's an angled hole in the cover. It's a real tight fit.
Yeah, you got to get the jack under the engine just right. And
so once we get this motor mount tightened up, we can lift the car and clean up the mess. I've got oil and everything everywhere. So we'll continue on.
And then it's pretty much going back in reverse order and putting it all back together.
All downhill from here.
Got to go to the parts store and grab a new...
Need some heater hose, or a little piece of hose, and
old drain plug.
Yeah, that was crossed, or that was chewed up.
It's kind of boogered up because it got put on way too tight. So I had to buy a new one of those, and then while we're there, I'm buying a air filter for this. But yeah, pretty much go in reverse order now. Okay, we didn't show some things, but we got the balancer back on, and we lowered the car back down. So now we're getting the new gaskets and everything put into the valve covers so we can get those back on, and then after those are on, then we can get the manifold back on. But I don't know what all it's going to entail, put all those gaskets in, because we have about a whole set of it, so everything's all good and fresh. All right, so didn't really show it, probably could have set up the camera, but got the back valve cover on and torqued to 89 inch-pounds on all the bolts. And now we're working on the front one. I just got all the bolts seated in, and then get those torqued down and then work on the manifold. Okay, to make it easier on ourselves, we realized we should probably just try to finish up this backside as good as possible, get the spark plugs in, do all the wiring, just get everything done and complete back there as much as we can before we get this manifold on, because once we do, it's just going to make it harder to put anything together back there. So right now I'm working on getting the spark plugs in, and then we'll start making some electrical connections. All right, we just got the manifold on, and it was kind of a fight pushing all the hoses and wires out of the way. And now we're just trying to kind of figure out where all these random connections go to. Trying to figure out that one. Then we have this fuel line that we don't know where it goes to at the moment, but we're gonna get this thing kind of seated with all the bolts and see if we can't try to figure out where the stuff goes. Okay, we got quite a bit done here. Made a lot of the electrical connections, a lot of the gas lines. Manifold is torqued down. We're about to put on the belt here in a second. How do you think this is going?
Not bad. I mean, we fought a couple things, but most of this is just keep at it. It's a little tedious.
Worst enemy is our memory.
Yeah.
A bunch of different hose connections over here. Just a bunch of little things. It's not bad. It's just trying to remember. All right. Finally, all put back together, we believe. Our biggest challenge, which should not have been
The heater hoses?
Yeah, the heater hoses.
The clamps?
And the clamps. All of them. I don't know why. They just all...
So we got water and oil in this?
Yep, we put oil in it. We put some water in.
3 gallons. You want to go ahead and hit the remote start, see if it runs? Or
Yeah. Let's just double check and make sure we got everything. Everything's plugged in, and then we'll hit it.
All right, let it rip.
Yep. Here it goes. Both sound like that?
Sure. Well, the fuel system had a prime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be damned.
Well, it runs. I wonder if it's leaking anything.
All right. It took more than 13 hours, didn't it?
A little bit. We smell coolant though too. It could be because we didn't get some on the block.
Yeah.
A little mishap there.
All right. We're going to get this thing out of here. We're going to get the duster moved and see if we can get this thing out on the road.
Take a road test, see if it got out of timing somehow, or we'll probably know almost right away once we start driving it.
All right. All right, taking it for a test drive. under its own power.
Yeah, we drove it a couple miles right just to really make sure it was all right. We got some coolant dripping, but I think that's from when we had that major leak going on that we fixed. So I don't think that's the issue. Seems to drive fine, shift fine. We haven't got on it yet to see if would that be like the real test if timing was off? If
you'd have a check engine light. If we were off by a tooth, you'd have a check engine light.
Okay,
I'm confident.
And it's raising up temperature fine. We got heat. I'd say mission success. I think we did it. So yeah, if you enjoy watching us do things incorrectly but get them done, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.